Tuesday, smiling for the gram. But raw beef, you flinch like it's part of some scam. Fish raw, you feel alive. Beef raw, you think you won't survive. But it ain't the beef that's playing game. It's the fear they sold wrapped in shame. You eat sushi, but you fear raw beef. Truce on the plate, not beyond belief. You eat sushi, but you fear raw beef. Time to rethink what's underneath. On a Tuesday, smiling for the gram. But raw beef, you flinch like it's part of some scam. Fish raw, you feel alive. Beef raw, you think you won't survive. But it ain't the beef that's playing game. It's the fear they sold wrapped in shame. But you fear raw beef. Truce on the plate, not beyond belief. You eat sushi, but you fear raw beef. Time to rethink what's underneath. You eat sushi on a Tuesday, smiling for the gram. But raw beef, you flinch like it's part of some scam. Fish raw, you feel alive. Beef raw, you think you won't survive. But it ain't the beef that's playing game. It's the fear they sold wrapped in shame. But you fear raw beef. Truce on the plate, not beyond belief. You eat sushi, but you fear raw beef. Time to rethink what's underneath. You eat sushi on a Tuesday, smiling for the gram. But raw beef, you flinch like it's part of some scam. Fish raw, you feel alive. Beef raw, you think you won't survive. But it ain't the beef that's playing game. It's the fear they sold wrapped in shame. But you fear raw beef. Truce on the plate, not beyond belief. You eat sushi, but you fear raw beef. Time to rethink.
How about new?
Else is sick and fucking tired of seeing all the carnivore shit all over these fucking apps. No one cares if you only eat meat. Every single one of you have to identify by Carnivore, fucking Connie, Carnivore Ken, whatever the fuck your name is, and you add Carnivore to the end of it on your fucking bio is fucking weird. Weird. You're literally treating your diet like a fucking religion. A religion. A meat religion. Okay? Like, what in the absolute meat fuck is this shit? Your fucking forts with your eggs and your cheese and your fucking butter and your dates. Who cares? You can't shit. Your fiber intake is fucking zero, and you think you're just fucking trudging through life getting all healthy. Get the fuck out of here. No one cares. Your meat fucking ass, your meat farts, your meat sweats. No one wants to fucking hear it.
It is Sunday. We are live, and it is summertime. So you know what? We've all been taking our time doing things. We're going to talk about Mark's little holiday, what he did on a holiday as a carnivore. And of course, Peter is, I think he's on some cycling mission, I believe. He's busy today. Obviously, it's summer, but that's okay. We're here. We're here live every Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. in the UK and Ireland, 7 p.m. in the Netherlands and Europe. And I just wanted to, Mark, before we get into the show today, I just wanted to make an announcement, sort of why we do the pre-show. It just kind of warms up the algorithm, gets us live, and we also focus on Byron Funk, Carnivore Beats. He helps us out with all the music. So all the music that you hear on the show is we really appreciate all his effort that he puts in, and we thank him very much. So subscribe to his channels. Carnivore Beats, YouTube, YT, and that on TikTok. So that's that. And, you know, we are now doing interviews. So we've been doing this for about 8 months now, Mark, eh? About 8 months. Mm-hmm. 3 technicals. We've been experimenting with a lot of stuff, and we do appreciate you guys going through, all the people that are joining us weekly. We appreciate it, and we're just getting our shit together, so to speak. And we're going to start putting out our interviews on Saturdays. So our Saturdays, we've got Sandra, who, if she's watching, she was a fan of the show and decided to take Mark on. And we've got that coming up. Also, a great interview Mark and I had with Coach Al Reeves. This guy is a physical specimen, man. And he's got his stuff dialed in. That's coming. We also did a big talk that I want to make sure that this is very much announced. We had a sit down with Fleur and Aaliyah about endometriosis, and that was a very, very big one. Generations, like Fleur's in her mid-40s. Aaliyah's not even, I think she's just 16. And the similarities and the talk that we got into, being 2 guys with 2 women. Fleur's been suffering with endometriosis for decades, and Aaliyah's got it, she's, since her, time of the month has started happening, she's had an amazing turnaround with the carnivore diet. He actually wrote a book, Mark. That is crazy.
No, that honestly, that episode was amazing, because you and I just stepped back a little bit and we just listened to these ladies talk. And honestly, that episode was very inspiring. Like you mentioned, there was one lady that's in her 40s, one lady that's a 16-year-old. Both of them are thriving at the moment. So yeah, and I think it was a conversation that was well needed. It was definitely well needed, 100%.
And all right, Peter's here. He's coming in. Oh, maybe he's got shoddy internet or something. But yeah, that was a big deal. And I think the awareness to be put out there, especially in that broad spectrum, how many women are gaslit and suffering with this stuff. And, Aaliyah, the carnivore, I think I'll post the link on the description to go get her book she wrote a carnivore book for teenagers. Wild. So she's got so much wisdom in such a young woman. And, that's going to be coming out. I'll make an announcement. And also, I think I believe you've lined up. So just to let everybody know how things go, Mark sort of takes care of the guests. Peter eats what Peter eats. Sort of in control of the comments and stuff. And I think we've got Dr. Malcolm Kendrick, because we had a great interview with Lisa Moss after a coronary arterial calcium test a couple times. And, the heart disease, heart awareness. Dr. Malcolm Kendrick wrote the book, The Clot Thickens, and Mark's got him to come on. So that's coming up down the pipes too, which is, this goes beyond carnivore. This is what the number one killer in the world is. And bringing the awareness to the potentials it's huge. So that's great. So we're going to be starting to release these interviews on Saturdays so that we'll be able to be a little bit more consistent. So bear with us. And today, Peter, how you doing, buddy? We didn't know if you were going to make it. Are you on a cycling trip?
I'm on a weekend trip to the south of the Netherlands, doing some training on the bike, last-minute training, because I'll have this cycling tour end of August. And finally, it's nice weather here. So I have done close to 300 kilometers of cycling, and tomorrow I'll return home.
Nice.
Maybe you can see it from my face. I'm still a little bit exhausted from the ride today. But yeah, it's nice anyway. So we do have some hills here in the Netherlands, in the south. So if you want to do some real training, you have to go. You have to go here. In my
Tour
own
de-
neighborhood, it's all flat.
Fair enough. Right on. Well, we'll talk about your excursionary diet, I'm sure. Just a quick announcement too is to shout out to Norse Carnivore for coming on last week. Brian Kelly is okay. He's a traveler. He travels a lot, so he messaged me. He's like, man, I fell asleep, and that's all good. So that's a shout out to the carnivore community. Jonathan, the Norse Carnivore, stepped up and came on and helped us out while Mark was away. So that leads us into Mark. Welcome back. How was your holiday?
That was amazing. I'm glad to be back, but yeah, I needed that week away. I got all the vitamin D I needed.
Nice.
It's very, very warm over there, extremely warm. But yeah, it was nice to get away with the family for a while.
Where were you?
We were over in Turkey.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so yeah, we only booked it pretty much last minute. We only booked it literally about a week in advance. I just told the girls, listen, I need a breakaway. I just felt that I needed it after the last couple of weeks I had. So I just said, right, listen, let's just pack up. Let's just go away for a week. I switched off the phone, switched off the laptop, and I just gave my brain a complete detox.
Nice.
TikTok was a totally different place in Instagram without you. But you did post a few small things, right?
Yeah, just a little few things. But I said, no, I'm going away and I'm doing nothing. I'm just taking the whole week off. Absolutely.
I think that's a good sort of it's a good detox to do once in a while. I mean, I get part of it.
But when I came back, and this is no word of a lie, I'll have to show you my inbox. There must have been about at least 50 people with videos. At least 50.
Well, we're gonna get into one today with that you sent us that you wanted to talk about. So we'll do that with write that down. Peter, how's your cycling? What do you do? Okay, we're gonna talk about diet away. What do people do when because we always hear these things. We hear these like carnivore's too restrictive, or I can't live my life and I can't. I would completely disagree because I believe it's freedom. But
Absolutely,
okay, Mark, what did you eat on holiday?
Well, I booked into an all-inclusive hotel where basically you can eat whatever you want. But like you said, the choices I had was unbelievable, guys. Like I had a choice of so many steaks. There was so many tenderloin, ribeye, T-bone, like you name it. Everything was there, and it was all cooked. You could cook it exactly the way you want to. All you have to do is just mention to the chef, like, listen, don't put any oil on it. I'll just have mine grilled. But I had so many choices. Like breakfast, there was salmon, there was eggs. You could eat whatever you want. Honestly, the choices were unlimited. I had no issues, trust me, on holiday.
I remember it from Turkey. I've been there once. Did you go to the south coast?
Yeah.
There you have those buffets. Like you say, that's amazing.
I gotta ask. This is the cheese ball Canadian coming. Did you eat turkey?
No, not a chance now. And you know what I had every single morning without fail? This is no word of a lie. Every morning I had 14 eggs.
Nice.
And everybody was coming over to me and says, we're worried about me. They were worried about, are you going to have a heart attack? This is no word of a lie, because I was eating them with my girlfriend. And every time someone walked past me, are you going to eat all them? Are you going to eat all them? And I'm like, of course I am. Of course I am. Like every day. And you want to see, honestly, you want to see my plate of food I had at nighttime. Honest to God. I had about three or four steaks.
Yeah.
Okay. On my plate with more eggs, and people are looking at me and saying, there's no way he's going to eat all that.
And what's the alternative? The alternative is all those candies and baklava and all the sweet Turkish things.
And I was going for second portions and third portions.
How much weight did you gain, Mark?
I have no idea. But I still look amazing.
Yeah, I bet you lost weight, man. If you're going like that, I bet you would lose weight.
But not only that, Tony, I never once snapped. I had so much energy. I don't know if you watched my videos. I was jumping off bleeding cliffs into the water.
Yeah.
Honestly, I felt amazing. I felt young. I felt vibrant. Like, you say this to me 20 years ago, I would have struggled to get up out of bed. I never wore suntan cream once in this country. Not once.
Attaboy.
Oh, guys, I was living in the sea. Living in the sea.
Nice.
Honestly.
That's a full body reset.
I was living life. Let's just put it that way.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
That's beautiful. Well, Jonathan mentioned this. Can you talk about raw chicken and pork? I mean, I wouldn't eat raw chicken simply for the fact that like we don't know where it's come from. I'm sure back in the wild chicken days, it wouldn't have been a problem. Now I would not trust the supermarket chicken, to say the least.
No, definitely.
And I've heard things about pork, like now they've, I think there was trichinosis or something that the pork was a problem. I think the good breeds of pork now are different. I've had medium pork, like a nice pork chop medium. But I think it's just user beware and do your best and due diligence. I wouldn't trust anything in the conventional supermarket meat in that respect at all. I
Yeah,
mean,
and if you want to fully eliminate the risk of this trichinosis thing, then you have to maybe even go further than medium, because it has to be at least 65 degrees, or what was it, 140 Fahrenheit, I think, 150. Usually, pork especially is not nice anymore at that temperature, I think.
yeah.
And personally, when it comes to pork and maybe chicken as well, well, first of all, I would take it from a trusted source, of course. But I would go as far as dry aging. So dry age a piece of pork, then sort of you can still eat it raw. And actually, I don't know how it works with parasites if you dry age, because you cool it, you don't freeze it or anything. For free, maybe even better would be to freeze the big piece of meat for 5 days or so, and then thaw it and put it in a dry aging chamber.
Yeah.
Maybe you can even eat it raw then. I don't know, maybe like sushi or so.
Well, you got bacon, right? Bacon's just cured in salt. So theoretically, I mean, it's not smoked; it's kind of raw. But and I've had some rare bacon in my life, that's for sure. So Mark, how did you count anything? Did you worry about anything when you were there? Did you just go nuts?
No, I just went nuts. Honestly, I just ate I ate 2 meals a day,
Yeah.
and I ate when I'm hungry. That's it. Like we had where our breakfast was open at 7 a.m. and it closed at I think it was 12 o'clock. I wasn't hungry. I used to just take the eggs to my room and I'd eat them when I'm ready to eat. And then dinner was around 7:30 or something like that. Again, we didn't eat until around 8 o'clock. And again, there was so much choices, unbelievable choices.
Wow.
So unbelievable. You want to see the amount of steaks they had? It was like Christmas.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. The amount of food was unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable.
Well, I have a dream of going back to Vegas now that I'm a carnivore, because I've been there quite a few times, but I never really maximized on the buffets. I don't know if they're still the same, but I can only imagine an all-you-can-eat prime rib and meat. Wow, it would be pretty fantastic.
And honestly, you want the amount of food, but you could also see the bad food, like the desserts. You want to see it, like, and the kids as well, like. The kids were all buying this crap. And the thing about these all-inclusive hotels is that you have this food in your face 24/7. Like there's popcorn, there's ice cream, there's ice pops. It's literally in the kids' faces, literally every hour. Yeah. And that's the unfortunate thing about these hotels, because you can clearly see that the kids weren't getting a minute to stop. It was literally in their face, like nonstop.
Yeah,
on the beach as well, and on the boulevard, the sodas and the doner kebab things, the Turkish pizza. I remember them. They are very nice, but when I went there, it wasn't a healthy holiday in that respect when it comes to food.
Well, I think that's where you're at, Mark. Too, is like that's a choice. Like people make excuses to say, well, I couldn't do it, or I couldn't, like even with our family dinners, like I pregame. That's what my trick is if I know I'm going to be in a situation where A, I won't eat anything, or B, there's going to be a lot of temptation, or I eat as much as I possibly can with the diet that I eat. And then when I go there, if I'm at worst polite and try things, it's not on a big level. I'm not hungry. There's no reason for me to be starving or like out of place. And I think that's a big deal. Like, I mean, this is a lifestyle choice. It's a mindset choice. And Mark, you just proved it. Like you went there.
And I don't think you should feel pressurized, because I made sure when I stepped into that hotel, I was speaking to the management straight away. I was like, listen, don't give me any seed oil. Don't give me any sugar. I didn't feel guilty or pressurized about it. I was like, okay, this is my life. I feel good. You're not gonna ruin my holiday by giving me shit. So this is my holiday. This is what I paid for.
Yeah.
So this is what I want. And the management were like, absolutely, no problem. We'll
Nice.
grill your food. We'll grill your food, no problem.
Yeah, I have a client right now. She's on an Alaskan cruise, and she's about 3 months into changing her diet, and she's been awesome because she knows, like, this is I pay for this. So she's like, what, like, I want butter, I want this, and she was prepared. She had her list of what she was going to do, and and the temptations are everywhere, guys. We walk into a gas station or petrol station in Europe, and what do you think? It's all screaming at us all the time. This marketing crap. So
yeah.
that's great. And Mark, it's great that like, you're at a stage in your life where it's like, from my observation, it's not worth it.
No.
You and look at how you felt. And I mean, I bet you the sun, not burning in the sun, being in the ocean, like, these are all holistic aspects of our lifestyle that, man, we don't get enough.
I'll tell you this much, Tony. Like, when I used to go on holidays in the past, I didn't really enjoy them because I was always thinking about food. This holiday was completely different. I never thought about food once. I was on my feet pretty much all day. I was taking it all in. It was a moment for me. I was really enjoying my time with family. There was no arguing. There was no fighting. It was just a nice, relaxed holiday. And I think that was all down to basically how we were eating. She did the very, very same. She just basically ate the same way as me, and we just had amazing time together. We didn't base everything around food and drink and alcohol. It was just amazing memories. I couldn't recommend it enough. You don't need to eat shit to enjoy yourself on holidays.
Well, was this the first holiday that you actually, like, what did you? Okay.
No, I did it last year as well. But we have been on holidays in the past where, like I said, I'd be thinking about food every 2 hours. Like, I'd have to bring food with me all the time. Like, I'd out on these trips, I'd have to bring food, and it felt like I was being selfish because I was always thinking about food all the time. And it was all about me. It was all about my ego. I want to look a certain way. I want to have these muscles. All this shit. But I didn't think about that once. I couldn't give a shit about my ego. Didn't give a shit how I looked. I just felt fucking amazing. I felt healthy. I felt good. I was, like I said, I was on my feet all the time. I was in the water most of the time. I just wanted to do stuff.
Because, like, how many times do people go away? Like, I mean, this is, it's just in my experience and conversations that I've had throughout my life. You just think you're going to go away, eat like shit, put on a bunch of weight, and then when you get back, you got to go on a diet. Like, that's, you know what I mean? And it's just doesn't have to be that way. And I think all of us are parts of, we make a choice with our lives, and it's not hard anymore. It's not hard to just get yourself prepared. Obviously, Mark, you had a little bit of preconception. I got to talk to the management. I got to make sure that this, you're going to have non-negotiables. And I mean, there's going to be times, some people, whether it's alcohol or a dessert, you may be able to enjoy it. It's everybody's context is a little different. For me, I always ask that question: is it worth it? And obviously, Mark, hearing your experience, you took control of your own destiny, and like, that's what a holiday should be, right?
And I'll tell you another thing I did, Tony, because their flight was at 4:00, and the flight was 6 hours, so I knew I wouldn't get over there till around 10:30 at the latest. So I had a big meal around, I think it was around 12:00, a big meal. I had a couple of steaks because I knew I wasn't going to eat anything on the plane. I was just going to fast, and I went all the way over there. Didn't eat anything on the plane, and didn't eat until anything the next day. I was completely fine.
Yeah, that's a very good idea with air traveling to not eat anything, especially if you cross a lot of time zones. I think it's a good idea to actually not confuse your body by eating. So if you don't eat, you sort of silence your biological clock, I think.
Yeah.
And if you stay only a few days, but don't try to switch to the new time zone too much, and try to eat just like you did at home. And
absolutely,
of course, if that's in the middle of the night, maybe not. But
because all I was doing when I came off the flight was holding water. So when I came off the flight, I put the suitcase down and I said, right, okay, let's just go for a 45-minute walk. Wasn't thinking about food at all. Came back after the 45-minute walk. My digestion was perfect. I was able to sleep perfectly. The next day I woke up, I had so much energy, and I was able to eat then whenever I was hungry. So
Well,
I think the way you approach it, you don't have to, like, a lot of people are usually heavy, they have a lot of water retention, and then they end up eating more food when they get to the hotel, so it makes it even worse. And then they have a shit night's sleep.
Yeah.
I think the way I approached it was very, very good. I just said, right, no, listen, let's just go for a walk. We walked along the beach. We got rid of all that fluid out of our body. We drank a bottle of water, and then we just went to sleep. And then the next day, we just woke up and we were ready to rock and roll.
And
Well,
how does it work? Because you get food at specific times in the hotel, 3 times a day, I imagine. You are with family. How many times did you go? And just breakfast in the evening, the dinner? Or?
Yeah, just breakfast in the morning. We had our breakfast in the morning at a certain time. We just listened to our bodies. We went when we were hungry. We weren't forced into anything. And then at nighttime as well, we just went down. We had a bit of food, and that was it. And we just put as much food on the plate as possible. We weren't tracking anything. We just put the right food on our plate, and then after that, then we just went for a light 30-minute, 40-minute walk, and we were good. That was it.
Yeah.
No issues.
I think there's a couple things there too. Is when Peter, you were mentioning jet lag. I think getting your eyes in the sunlight in the new time zone is really important. That will help everything.
Unless maybe you stay only like 1 or 2 days. So in the past, I had to for work, I had to go to Houston for like 1 meeting. And then it can be a good idea to stick to your old time zone. And I went to, first of all, I didn't eat in the plane. And then I arrive, I would sleep probably and wake up very early. Well, I don't remember exactly, but I would go into the fitness room.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 a.m. For me, that's extremely early.
Yeah.
And when I was back home, it was sort of okay. And of course, you always notice it a little bit, that type of differences. But
and another thing that Lisa Moss, the Prairie Carnivore, she posted a really interesting thing that ties into this on Facebook with her husband. How he's in construction. He goes to work all day. It doesn't really matter what work he's doing. He just eats steak and eggs when he gets home. And I think setting yourself up for that intuitive eating helps too, because the fast isn't the problem. It's when you're in control of that, I think that's a huge bonus. I mean, you don't let your life get dictated by meal times. And I've been on holidays. I remember we went on a cruise and I flew to Miami, and it was like a bunch of layovers. By the time I got to Miami, I was starving, and it was like, I'm going to rip your head off if I don't eat. It was late in the morning. It was late at night, early morning. There was nothing open. And it was so, I just remember this now that I've got a little bit more of an intuitive way about myself. I can't even imagine that happening now. And that's another superpower that's really overlooked, is the ability to control that whole process, because I think people freak out. And then that's, if you're going to go off the rails, that's when you do it. But just that little bit of planning. Bacon Baby has a good point here. And this is something that I think we've all had to deal with. It's complicated staying close with family on vacation. How would you handle it? My mom gets deeply offended when she says I'm being foolish. That, I think, happens all the time. Everybody loves it when we cheat. Everybody loves it when you eat cake. They invite you out. They say, are you going to cheat? And all this stuff. And families, you know what? All I can say is they're not you. And you have to make a choice. If you choose to let that bother you, that's going to obviously weigh on your heart. But why are you doing this? And if your family can't understand why, well, are they in any position to comment, right? And
exactly. Just, you need to move on. You're doing this for you. You're not doing it for anybody else. Simple as.
And I've seen it as you go, and as you get used to it, people just stop asking. They just stop harassing. They just assume, okay. And you know what? It's something that we all have to deal with, which is, it's unfortunate that nobody really understands until you're in it. And that's the unfortunate part about a lot of this stuff. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
Well, and the nice thing, even if you would go to Turkey and you would go off the rails, I think it's a carnivore. If you do that for a few days or even a week, and you get back home, you are able to reset relatively quickly. So also during my cycling I tend to eat some stuff that I normally don't eat. I will introduce some fruit, or I will take some deli meat from the supermarket, which is not optimal, and that sort of things. But I could also eat like, well, this weekend I've eaten probably like 2-3 kilos of dairy, with yogurt and that sort of things. Because when you arrive home or home or at the place after a full day of cycling, well, then you don't want to eat 2 pounds of ribeye, for example, not late at night. Your digestive system is not really super active after a long ride. So I want to take something easy. So I bought some yogurt and actually even added some blueberries in it. And of course that evaporates like snow in the sun, because you've burned like 4,000 or 5,000 calories on that day, so you can do it. But as long as you do that only in that time frame, or during this activity or during this vacation, and there's a big change, like you fly back home, or in a few days I'll be working again, then as a carnivore, it's usually quite easy to return to your normal routine.
True. Well, Peter, are you ready? Because we want to know what you've been eating on your cycling. What are you eating, buddy? Mention yogurt.
Oh, I've got to think. Well, I started already. I did eat a lot of meat as well. So when I arrived here, so I'll just talk about what I've been eating during this weekend, right? With the cycling. I started fasted, or actually at home before cycling I took a bowl of yogurt actually, but in terms of calories that's not so much. And I started cycling. The full ride was 180 kilometers, and I think somewhere halfway I went into the supermarket and bought some Parmesan cheese. So that is like slightly under half a pound that I bought. And some smoked beef deli meat. So that's actually, it's very difficult to find good deli meat, like everywhere else in the US, but also in the Netherlands. Belgium is quite good sometimes. I'm close to Belgium here. But there are a few like more authentic pieces of deli meat that just contain salt or are just smoked. And I try to get those, but often I will also get like raw ham or so, and that's more tricky. There's some dextrose and some spices maybe in it. But for just the holidays, that's something I tend to accept. But that's what I've been eating, the cheese and the deli meat. So in terms of calories, that's still nothing. Let's just use calories to get an idea. So maybe that's 1,000 calories.
Yeah.
Then I continued. I visited my Dutch friend from Carnivore Meals.
Oh yeah.
He gave me a lot of water, because water is actually the most difficult thing when you are on the keto carnivore diet, because I can continue without eating. Although I like to eat something on the road, it's good. I can continue without it, and the water is the tricky thing, because sometimes you have stretches of 10, 20 kilometers or 30 kilometers without a shop, and the best shit you can do, and I never dared to do it yet, is to ring at somebody's door to ask for some water. But if you're unlucky, you don't even come across a house. But that's it. And then I arrived here in the south of the Netherlands, and I went to a supermarket. It was late at night. I bought that yogurt that I told you, and the blueberries, and some more cheese. So it's definitely not optimal. It tastes very nice, of course, but cheese, well, I know that I get constipated from cheese, so it's combined with exercising, you are already dehydrated, so it's not nice. But anyway, the next day, what I tend to do is, if I'm in a city, I look up if there is an organic butcher or something like that. And luckily they had one here, and I bought 1 kilo of bone-in ribeye, a lamb rack. I don't know if you call it a lamb rack, but it's like the rib cage of the lamb. And some deli meat from the good butcher. So that's good stuff. And yeah, you spent like €50 for a weekend, because
That's
that is
like
my weekend food.
$921 Canadian, buddy.
But yeah, this is really difficult. I mean, yeah, it's strange, right? So just a minute ago, I tell you that it's easy as a keto carnivore because you are not bound to eating times and all those things. On the other hand, it's quite difficult to find good stuff, and also if you're cycling, for example, for me, water is really important, like the composition of water and the minerals in it. So if I would go to a bar, I would like to get some good sparkling water with minerals in it, but that's typically not what you get here. And the same with, for example, I took some coconut water. So I usually don't drink that, but during cycling, I mean, if you go a full day, then that is a good option in my opinion. But those things you can also hardly find. So it's really annoying. You, as a carnivore, you see everything in the supermarket that's bad. Even the whole foods are usually not that good. The meats aren't good. Because I wanted to make a video on TikTok showing people, like, I arrive here at the place for a weekend. I go to the supermarket. What meat am I going to pick to eat? And I cancelled the video because I was looking on the shelves and there wasn't anything. So there was meat imported from Uruguay. So I eat my meat raw, so that's I'm being quite selective. But I'm not going to eat raw meat that is imported from Uruguay and already, like, who knows what, 2 weeks old. And then there was Dutch meat. It was packaged, but also that is already old. You could see it, like all the meat juices were already leaking into the package. And so there's really nothing. Even the Dutch meat is either like that, it's not fresh, or it's like ground meat and it contains, how do you call it, ascorbic acid, I think, or the citric acid and that sort of stuff. I mean, it's not that bad, but again, I cannot tell if it's fresh. Well, I can tell it's probably not fresh, but
when in doubt, right? When in doubt.
Yeah.
Assume.
And then, I think you can still eat it. If meat is a bit older, and as long as it's packaged, you don't die from it. You don't get ill typically. But still, I don't like the idea. I'm cycling all day, so my stomach is how do you call it? It's a bit under pressure or so. So it's not as it doesn't have the good defense that you have if you are just having a normal working day, let's say. So I try to be a bit cautious with what I'm eating in that case.
Right on, buddy. Well, I'm surprised you don't have your some kind of what's it called, an induction burner or some pan that you cycle with. I can just imagine you on the side of the road.
Yeah. Well, I decided to not do that anymore because it's a lot of weight that you have to bring, and you need to take the gas canister. Also in the end of August, I'll try to just eat raw meat or get some cooked meat from the organization of the trip.
Yeah.
But I will also cycle to this event on my own. And that's, again, a difficult thing. So if you don't want to go to those supermarkets every day and buy, still shit, let's say, then you have to fall back on things like beef jerky and prepare it at home. But you have to carry it as well in your bag. Maybe some pemmican.
There you go.
So I'm contemplating all those things, but I'm not sure yet how I'm going to do that.
Well, fair enough. Now I have a question for Mark. Did you miss your pan? Mark?
Yeah, I did. Big time. I actually missed my own food. believe it or not.
I could just
Even
imagine.
though I had all these choices, all these amazing choices, I actually just missed my own food.
I can just imagine Peter and Mark like the pan preparation for their trips, and Mark gets the buffet, all his steaks, and then puts it in his own pan just to eat it. Just a little taste at home. That's beautiful.
I felt weird. I felt weird putting a steak on a cold plate. Just felt weird.
For all those that don't know, Mark eats right out of the pan. He doesn't do dishes.
Yeah.
And so, speaking of which, we have.
This was nice, by the way. I mean, so I told you that I was visiting this friend on the way to here.
We
On the
gotta
way
get
back,
him on.
on the way back, I'm going to visit. Well, you showed the comment, Crystal.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about the carnivore pizza,
Yeah.
and of
Yeah.
course about the soaps. So Crystal is also carnivore, and she makes tallow-based soaps and cosmetics and all those things. So I'll have something to carry back home on the bike.
Don't eat the
Super.
soap. Peter. Don't eat the soap.
I know.
Every week we do a little segment. Mark picks out a video that we want to comment on, and today he's got a pretty interesting one. I kind of saw it, but we're gonna get into it.
These guys are getting richer while you're getting sicker. Write that down. 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 These foods are highly processed, complete garbage, and I can promise you now, I wouldn't even give it to my fucking dog. Write that down.
Little update on my sort of sugar-free.
Okay, before we get into this, we'll set it up. This is apparently a very big influencer in the UK. Is that true, guys?
Correct, yes.
Okay, we're gonna hear what he has to say, and then the comment of the guy behind him commenting.
Lifestyle, if you like. Got a confession to make. I've had a relapse. I was about 11 weeks in, really cut out, really was feeling good, was getting leaner, feeling amazing. Anyway, and I had a bit of fruit to begin with, then I cracked. And guess what it was that done me? It was a packet of Jaffa cakes, which I haven't eaten for years. I smashed a whole packet of Jaffa cakes. So I've had a bit of a wobble since then. I've been eating brownies, loads of fruit. Yesterday, just for example, I had half a melon, 3 satsumas, 2 nectarines, and 3 peaches. That ain't normal. For me, the sugar, it's that little monster in my tummy. Once I feed that bacteria, it craves and wants, and I have to just eat it until I clean the house out.
I feel sorry for Joe Wicks because he clearly doesn't have a positive relationship with food. And instead of working on it privately, he's using social media to keep himself accountable and encouraging millions to do the same with cutting out sugar. He clearly has a poor relationship with sugar and he blames it for a lot. He's even said on national radio that his poor diet, high in sugar, caused and worsened his ADHD. And I called him out for it before. And I'm just fed up with people that the public trust, encouraging poor and very disordered eating habits, acting like they're extremely knowledgeable when it comes to nutrition. Joe is the most popular personal trainer in the UK. When he posted his no sugar challenge, which at first meant cutting out everything including fruit, millions saw it and he encouraged them to follow him along with it. And a few weeks later he's admitted that he's relapsed and binged on Jaffa cakes. Relapse is a serious word. It belongs in conversations about drug addiction, alcohol addiction, gambling and so on, not Jaffa cakes. And he's admitted himself that he's very all or nothing. So why are we copying someone that admits that they swing from one extreme to the other? Joe, you even said that you won't completely avoid sugar. So why are we trying to completely cut it out in the first place? You've kept mentioning aesthetics throughout this period of you documenting your sugar-free challenge, about how it's been great for weight loss and you're in the best shape of your life. Well, now you're binge eating. And that is a prime example of why we don't just completely ban things and cut them out. You also talk about sugar being addictive and then followed it up by saying that you ate loads of fruit and that fed your gut bacteria to want more sugar. This is how binge and restrict cycles start. This is how we encourage other people to follow a binge and restrict cycle as well. You cut something out completely, crave it more, you binge. That is not weakness, it's just biology. But my biggest gripe is the demonization of fruit. The problem is that 83% of adults and 91% of children aren't eating enough fruit. Only 17% of adults and 9% of children hit the 5 a day target, with averages sitting around 3 portions of fruit and veg a day. And it's been falling for years. Almost a third of kids aged 5 to 10 eat less than a piece of fruit a day. So it's really frustrating when someone with 11 million followers makes out that fruit is addictive and cuts it out to create like a fruit phobia at a time where evidence suggests that it's really important that we eat more. Please eat more fruit, whatever you can afford and what you have access to. Focus on consistency, not perfection with your overall nutrition. We don't need to be extremist and cut things out completely. By all means, be more mindful with sugar intake. And Joe, please, like genuinely just get some help with your relationship with food and stop projecting your struggles onto other people and encouraging them to follow you along with your disordered eating habits.
Well,
Honestly, I couldn't listen to any more of that. That proves one thing. It's these people just haven't got a clue what they're talking about. Honestly,
okay.
I watched this video is actually huge at the moment. It's going all over the world. Everybody's talking about it. All the dietitians, the nutritionists, the PTs, the coaches, they're all saying the same thing, that you can eat this shit in moderation. You shouldn't cut out sugar. And like when you look at Joe Wicks, he said 11 weeks ago that his main issue with ADHD, the reason why he's setting himself off is because he thinks it's down to his sugar. And he went on this little journey. He said, right, I'm going to give up sugar. But he didn't realize that he gave up all the processed sugar. He never gave up the carbohydrates. So in those 11 weeks, he was still eating carbohydrates. So he was still feeding his brain sugar.
Spinning the wheel.
So he never cut it off. So that's the reason why he relapsed. And people just don't understand this. So people are looking at his diet and they were like, okay, well, you were eating healthy. I was what they call healthy, but he was eating a lot of carbohydrates. And he was never going to be able to switch off that hunger hormone. His insulin levels they might have been elevated as hugely as eating processed foods, but they were being regulated, spiked and spiked on a regular basis. And this is what these people just don't understand.
But that's why that was a little bit kind of weird with the video, because like this guy's explaining. I don't know who the hell this guy is. I've never heard of him before, but I see a lot of people doing that. I've done that, where you just have a little bit, you introduce a little bit, and then all things are off the rails. The thing that really kind of threw me off was it is a drug, man. Like that guy commenting, like that's what he said. It is exactly an addiction. Like, are you stupid? Like, this is addictive behavior.
Yes.
Regardless of what it is. That is a sign of an addiction. And when you're saying it's not like alcohol or drugs, well, what the hell is sugar? If you don't know that it's not a food. And then the other thing about this fruit bullshit. Where in nature have where kids have had access to 3 to 5 pieces of fruit in anywhere aside from maybe tropics all year round? Eat your fruit every day. Like, what the hell is that? That is, there's so many holes in this and so many things that I was just like,
the whole biology argument doesn't hold. Is that the expression, hold water or whatever? And because it's the environment that we are in. It's so easy. Yeah, you see the billboards of people enjoying foods when you are on the highway and you go into the city center. Here, I'm actually in Maastricht, in the south of the Netherlands. It's like cafes and pubs and restaurants literally in each street, because this city is known for it. They, the south, the people from the south, they enjoy all the culinary stuff, and then so go to a place like this, and it's impossible to withstand the temptation. And chocolate, the Belgian chocolate you can get here, and all this stuff. It's impossible. And this whole binge eating pattern, this is exactly the reason why you should exclude sugar.
But because I'm so fat, because I'm so deeply fat adapted, I had so many choices when I was in Turkey. There was so many desserts in front of me. It never fazed me once. Never fazed me once. Now, if I had had a little bit of chocolate, I know that would have set me off big time.
Yeah.
It would. That's when I would have been in trouble. But the smell of it, the look of it, never fazed me once. Not once.
And like we went out a month or two ago with my girl, and we were just like, okay, let's try a pasta. Let's just try it. Let's see what happens. And I'll go, like I've mentioned before, I go into experimental mode. I did not get the binging. I did not. I knew what to be expected, but literally 2 bites, and I was like, this is not good. I'm feeling like shit already. The next day, we're going out for a walk, and I'm starting to think of dim sum. Oh, I haven't had that for a while. I'm starting to think of like all these ethnic foods, and I never think about this. And I'm like, this is this is somebody who's unaware of it. This is what that drive. Luckily, I am, but it was different. One couple mouthfuls of these noodles, and I'm already thinking differently. But I was lucky enough, and I'm good at myself, and I can catch it. But it wasn't like a craving. But why all of a sudden, and like I've walked down the street like
Yeah,
seven times a week, and this never happens. And now all of a sudden, all these things are starting to. That's the psychology of it. And what is it? Biochemistry. It's
well, and then Tony, when you go to a place where you cannot get the meat, the good meat that you want, or something carnivore, and the only option is to eat that stuff. So then what's happening? Your temptation gets even bigger because at some point you'll get hungry. Also, in rightfully so, because you actually need food, and then the meat is not there. Your local butcher is maybe not there, and you start to eat that stuff, and that's what's happening here as well. So it's a problem of availability of the right things. People don't have the option oftentimes to go for these things, the good things.
No kidding. And that's where it's deeper than our diets. This is your mindset. This is your the physiology in your brain, how your neurotransmitters work, how your hormones are working. This is not okay when people do that, and they just think, oh, I've failed. No, that's showing a bigger problem. It's showing that you are dependent. Your brain is dependent on a drug, and it's good that you're admitting it. But then the other guy saying that it has nothing to do with that, and like to abstain it. This is where that excess moderation, eat the rainbow bullshit comes. Like it just gets blown right out of proportion, and where you're at will greatly determine your dependency on this stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean,
sorry, Tony, go ahead.
And I mean, like Mark, you and I work with people that like this is the first thing we have to establish. Like I need to know where you're at with your sugar dependence, whether it's metabolic health or sugar addiction. You are going to be a different animal if you are sugar addicted. There is things you must be aware of. And that's the thing. We just, when we start asking people about like, well, you got to cut out sugar, obviously. But now when we tell you that all carbohydrates are sugar, doing the same thing just in a different way, you need to take control of this. If you can't, then where you're at, you're an addict.
Absolutely.
And that's
absolutely
that is part.
And you know this, Tony, because like this is what I see a lot with people as well. The first question you normally ask these people is, "How's your relationship with food?" And they'll say it's out of control. I'm getting these regular cravings. I'm thinking about food on a regular basis, and you can clearly see what the problem is. They're addicted. They're addicted to something, and it's the sugar. Yeah. So it's like, okay, we can't move on to the weight loss phase until we nail this first. And this is why we're always mentioning that you need to heal your body first. This is why these influencers and these coaches are focusing on the wrong message, because they're convinced. And we know you can eat whatever you want. You can eat as many Jaffa cakes as you want in a week and you'll still lose weight. But it's not going to be good for your health. You're not going to be able to shut off insulin. Your leptin levels are going to be messed up. Your ghrelin levels are going to be messed up. And this is what's going on here. This is what really annoys me, because every single person on social media says the same thing. It's just based on calories. It's all down to the law of thermodynamics. It has nothing to do with the food that you're eating. As long as you're in a calorie deficit, you are going to lose weight. None of us here are arguing that case. None of us. But that's not what we're focusing on. That's not what we're focusing on at all. We're focusing on why do you have a bad relationship?
And this is the problem: this is indoctrination and programming. This is on purpose. This is by design. They get you to the point where, Mark, you say this all the time, and I'm actually doing something in the future. I'll announce it later. But why you can't? Why you keep coming back? Why you go on a diet and it fails? Why the weight won't stay off? Because you're addressing the wrong issues. You're not taking in consideration what the whole food pyramid guideline bullshit is pushing you towards. It's pushing you towards you're broken, it's your problem. Poor genetics, we've got the answers. And it's not. It's once we've all been part of it. Like, you start changing your mind and your relationship about these things, you can start the healing process. And that's the biggest thing. And these guys that we just watched, have no clue about that. I don't care how.
Falls back on a lot of what I call false friends. As a type 1 diabetic in the past, I would hear a lot of them, like fiber would be my friend because it dampens the glucose spikes. Fruit, he's saying, is good because, of course, there are the vitamins and all those things. He's talking about disordered eating. Well, there is nothing disordered about it. It's only abnormal in the sense that, in the literal sense of the word, it's different from the norm. That sort of things. But he's introducing a lot of noise. And yeah, as you said, of course, maybe secretly also because he is addicted or the system is addicted. So you'll start to look for these arguments like you cannot exclude the food group with that sort of things. Yeah.
Can I just add one point as well? I don't know if you guys noticed this as well, but when you hear these coaches and these PTs talking about this, do you ever notice how aggressive they are, how passionate they are when they're talking about sugar? You can clearly see it. You can clearly see what this guy was talking about. He was really passionate. He was really aggressive. Oh, you should have sugar in your life. You shouldn't be demonizing all foods like this. You can see it in his face. You could see he's panicking. You can see that he's in that situation at the moment as well. You can clearly see that he's addicted to this food, and he's going to do whatever it takes to tell people that this is what you should be doing. And this is a sign of it. This is a sign of an addict. They retaliate. They say, I don't have a problem. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah, and yes, the whole food pyramid and the whole food science to back up his point. Yeah, that's an unfortunate thing.
Yeah. And yeah, well, three to 5 pieces of fruit a day for a kid that's already on goldfish crackers and Kraft dinner, and you know what that fruit is going to save your life. Like that's horrifying actually, because we should be steering kids towards eating more eggs. Eat your eggs. Get your
and isn't fructose even more powerful? But am I wrong here? When it comes to fructose, is it not even more powerful than normal sugar?
In terms of addiction,
Robert Lustig in Metabolical explains his experience. This guy's a pediatric endocrinologist witnessing the obesity epidemic in kids, telling you fructose is the problem, and now we're going back to this justifying it. Now, I'm not talking about Paul Saladino, who is fitter than hell and surfs every day and eats his fruit in Costa Rica grown off a tree. We're talking about modern lifestyle people, practicing normal people that have to survive. This is not good advice. You are telling somebody to eat fruit before your essential nutrients. Fruit is not essential. There's the Maasai, the Inuit, there's species are factions, cultures of humans that have lived without fruit, no problem. So that's good for you. Well, maybe it's time that people start listening to the carnivores that are doing things that are unbelievably amazing. I don't even have words. To half the people we talk to, 99% of the people we talk to have done these incredible things, and they're still like, where's the awareness with them? Where's the awareness? And that's what pisses me off, is this bullshit. That thing has 12 million views. Are you kidding me?
See, the problem is, Tony, and I did a video on this earlier. I don't know if you've seen it. Well, I focused on basically you're not judged on how you speak anymore. You're judged on how you look. So you only need to look at Mark Bell, for example. He looks amazing. He's ripped. He's shredded. But that's what people are dialing in on. They're like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about because he looks amazing. But when you and I come along and we have our jumpers on and people can't see what we look like, people are saying, well, he doesn't look the part. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And unfortunately, that's the road we're going down now. Unless you have the body, people are never going to take you seriously. And that's the way it is. The same with the women. Women as well, they're looking amazing. And this is what all the young kids want. They all want to look like these people, but they've been led down this false route. That's all it is. And it's very unfortunate to see at the moment. It doesn't matter what comes out of your mouth. You could have all the knowledge in the world. It means jack shit if you haven't got the right body.
Yeah, and you saying that, Mark, too, like, I want two examples. I just spent 10 hours in the sun yesterday. It was like 27 degrees Celsius. In the hot sun, no sunscreen, minimal water. I didn't burn. I barely tan. Like, I've been spending every day out in the sun. It seems this year I'm tanning less. Like, it's weird. But Mark, you were on holiday. No sunburn in Turkey, in tropical, in the hot Mediterranean. What is that? Where's the awareness for that? Like, that is incredible. I've burnt all my life. If I go on a holiday, I usually have a burn at some point. I forget the sunscreen or whatever. I don't wear sunscreen. I don't put nothing on my skin. Where's the health factor there? I don't eat fruit. Turning over my fat, eating more saturated fat, less seed oils, less sugar. It matters. So that's the.
Yeah, when you talk about sunburn, and now I remember a story from my holidays to Turkey. I was 18 years old or so. It was, I think, after high school exams, and I got sunburn because I fell asleep on the beach. So probably I didn't even have the sunscreen on. But anyway, it was quite heavily burnt. And then we went to a Turkish sauna, and there they scrub your body.
Oh, good time.
So that was a horrifying experience. It was really like the worst sunburn, and then some big, heavy Turkish guy was rubbing me with.
Yeah. We did the same. We went in for a Turkish bath. It was the first time I ever got a Turkish bath in my life.
It's nice, right?
And that's lovely. But I walked into the room, and these two ladies were like, "Okay, pull down your shorts and get on the table." I'm like, "What? You want me to get naked?" And she was like, yes, no problem. I'm like, no, the shorts are staying on. This one wanted to massage my genitals and all. I was like, no, forget about it. Oh my God, no way. I was like, no way.
They saw you with your shirt off, buddy, and they just were like, whoa.
What did you think about it, Tommy? I wouldn't get a Turkish bath ever.
Anyway,
ever,
but
because of that reason. You have to be naked. Like, even my missus, she hated it as well. I was like, no chance. No, Jesus Christ. She doesn't even get naked beside me.
I think that might be a whole other podcast, boys. Oh man, I do love the saunas though. Like, I mean, and if I had my own, I would probably get naked. But I don't know about going into a steam chamber fully. Yeah, I don't know.
No, not for me. Definitely not for me.
Oh, by the way, next week I will probably show what I eat in the fitness, the gym.
Nice.
Perfect.
Nice. Well, boys, we are pushing an hour, and I just wanted to say something. It kind of ties into what we had today. So I'm putting on a course on September 7th, and it's going to actually be after our podcast for people that don't really know why they're not losing weight. And it's kind of, I would love to have you guys. We'll talk about it after. Kind of maybe have a guest that'll speak on it, but it's to help women specifically over the age of 40. It's like 8 weeks. Every 2 weeks, we're gonna have a talk, and I'll post a link below on my website. And I think for people that don't know what the hell is going on, these are the things we talked about today. Sometimes it's not enough just to cut out sugar for a week, for 30 days, and I think people need some help, and we're gonna get into it. Sorry about the bad audio. But anyway, boys, I had an amazing time. Let us know where they can find you, Mark, and any last thoughts.
No, I'm just glad to be back. I'm glad to be having these conversations again. I missed them. If you guys want to reach out to me, I'm on Fitness Beyond Time and all social media. And if you want to send me an email at nsmark93@gmail.com.
Nice. And don't forget Carnivore Evolution Podcast. Mark goes one-on-one with great people and interviews them. It's on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I got to mention that, or Victoria will kill me. I love Victoria. Peter?
I'm the Dutch Carnivore, and you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube.
Awesome. Well, apparently we're having a little technical lagging, so it's a good time to end it up. Thanks for joining us today. If anybody needs to reach out to me, I'm asking for your help on Instagram. I need 12 more people to go live on Instagram. 12. Mind and ranting, and maybe Mark and I'll get on, and Peter, and just start raving about stuff. It's no more editing, no more scripts, no more AI. It's just flat out, when things pop up, I want to speak my mind. So that help me out on Instagram at Tony_food4thought. That would be great. And if you're interested in working with Mark or myself, our websites, Mark, fitnessbeyondtime01.com and TonyStewartCoaching.com. Thank you guys for being here. We are here live every Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. in the UK and Ireland, 7 p.m. in the Netherlands and Europe. We don't know where Peter will be, but we know what he's going to eat next week. So we'll get into it. And thank you guys for all your comments and joining us. We are working on our back end game. We're trying to get this a little bit tight. We've been doing it a long time now. We're starting to get comfortable with it. We're going to start pushing it, and we do appreciate all your support. So please like and subscribe to all our channels. And if you can, comment, because it helps us get out there. Thank you all. We will see you